The big news stories just keep on coming today, and this time it's back to the Premier League, and one that I really want to talk about because this is a mental one. Probably seen coming by some of the football fan base because, let's be honest, in the Premier League it's got about greed and it's got about success and constant money, success and trophies, which Spurs have had none of recently, but they sacked Jose Mourinho anyway. Let's go straight to the club statement. The club can today announce that Jose Mourinho and his coaching staff, João Sacramento, Nuno Santos, Carlos Lalin and Giovanni Serra have been relieved of their duties. Chairman Daniel Levy says, Jose and his coaching staff has been with us through some of our most challenging times as a club. Jose is a true professional who showed enormous resilience during the pandemic. On a personal level, I have enjoyed working with him and regret that things have not worked out as we both have envisaged. He will always be welcome here, and we should like to thank him and his coaching staff for their contribution. Ryan Mason will take first team training today, and a further update will follow in due course. Right, this is hot off the press, so the further update, I would really be intrigued to see if they weren't pulling the trigger until after they've just announced they're joining the European Super League and they've just sacked Jose, who is the epitome of rising clubs to the top, sort of, with, if you think of him, that Porto team. And obviously they would probably be qualified for it. However, they're not in the European Super League. You got to remember that. Has he turned round and gone, do you know what? I'm not about this. It's probably more of a case of they are not happy with his form. They brought him in to get trophies. He's not had trophies. They're still in a final. They bowed out of the Europa League unceremoniously, very much with a weep, yet they are still part of Europe's elite, apparently, and they're part of this European Super League. By the way, I just want to say something. If I had a Prem team, it would be Spurs. So any Spurs fans on this, I'm not having a pop. I just find it increasingly weird, the timing of this. Maybe something's kicked off with the European Super League, or going forward into that, they think they can now attract a bigger manager than Jose Mourinho. Who is attracted to this job at the minute? Because clearly they've brought a manager in who was renowned for getting trophies. Yes, he's had a tough time of it, but who else are they going to bring in this situation? Unless, I can't even unless it. I can't see anybody else who'd want that job at the minute. Harry Kane's probably out of the door. The whole European Super League thing is massively up in the air. Maybe there's discussions going on behind the scenes that they can now bring in someone bigger for that. But the bigger managers are all at clubs. They've all got jobs. And yes, I'm aware this is the second video I've made today. Hit that card if you want to hear a rant about the European Super League. I went off for quite a while and edited it into 20 minutes. It's a decent watch. Go watch that. Right, so Spurs are 7th. Yes, they've massively underachieved for what they wanted with Jose. It's been a bit of a trying time. Bale obviously didn't come in and came good. He likes to call out the players. There's probably some dismay in the dressing room, but you're not even pushing for Europe anymore because you've literally just become part of a big money Super League. So this shouldn't be an issue. You've got somebody who's renowned for winning trophies. You join in somewhere where it's a big boys club and you can all compete for the trophies, and you're getting rid of a manager that wins trophies. This makes sense if you're sacking him because he's not achieving in the Premier League and you want to get into those top spots. But this doesn't make sense off the back of the European Super League, which is why I'm sort of feeling like, has there been something said? Does Jose actually want... It's too coincidental, right? The reason I wanted to make a video on this is because I would like this to be Jose Mourinho has turned round and gone, do you know what? I'm not a big fan of this. I'm out. And they've done the sort of mutual respect thing, and they haven't got the Amazon cameras behind the scenes. So he's sort of just bowed out and he's gone with it. And I'd like to see, if that is the case, more Premier League managers taking that stance. Klopp said in the past that he doesn't like the idea of a Super League. Who wants to see those big teams just constantly play each other? It's going to lose its shine. I hope he resigns. I hope we get more managers doing this. It looks like a sacking in terms of form, but as I just said, it doesn't make sense if you are pushing... If you're pushing for Europe in the Champions League places, then yes, it does, doesn't it? Because you need to get in there and he's not getting that for next season, but you have just announced for next season a European Super League. You are in Europe, you've got your money. What is the point? Which is why I'm questioning whether it's got more than that. Spurs fans, who do you actually want in at that club now? Because it's just, the timing of it is awful. You've got the best English player in the world, Harry Kane, up front who is looking to leave. What has a manager got to come in and work with there? Because here's the thing for Jose, at Spurs, the downfall. That defence is just not good enough. The problem with Spurs is, and I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan, so I know all about mentalities and bottling things and, you know, having the mental fragility of not being able to hold leads, especially this season. Trust me, holding a lead is something we don't do very well. Haven't done. And Spurs is kind of the same on that. I get that. That's down to your defence and your mentality. And you can say some of the mentality will come from Jose, but has he really been given the cash to spend on defenders? I know that's not really Levy's way, but, like, if he could build a defence, give him a chance. The way they were playing earlier in the season, they outscored teams, and that's great. Remember when Liverpool went through that phase where they'd score a lot of goals, but they'd concede a lot, and then they managed to solidify the defence with the likes of Virgil van Dijk and obviously Alisson in net, and they went on to big things. What annoys me is there's this stereotype around Jose Mourinho that he's only got a couple of years in him, and then it gets pushed on the fans. So wherever Jose Mourinho goes now, he's never going to be given time to build, and if it doesn't immediately work, he's never got time to rebuild a club. He did really well at Manchester United despite the circumstances with the group of players he was given. That looked, in hindsight, he did a lot better than a lot of people gave him credit for. With Spurs, I feel like if he'd have been able to build a defence there, now he's sort of rooted into the club. That'd have been the time to let him kick on, give him another season, and then if it doesn't work, yeah, that's the point. You've bought yourself time with this horrific European Super League. Why would you sack Jose Mourinho now? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Who wants that job? A lot of managers will want that job, realistically, but who wants that job that's got the same CV as Jose Mourinho? And a lot of people talk about him being old news. There's just something really suspicious going off at football, and Spurs especially. There's a lot of talks about whether Levy knew about this European Super League 10 years ago when he started building the stadium, and that's how they got in on it. Because if you look at Spurs history, lads, we've got 4 top division titles. You've got 2. We're going to League One. You know, that's the way football works sometimes. But you've somehow managed to money your way into this, and that is because you've got a businessman at the top. And I just find it really weird that they sacked Jose. You know what? I like Jose. I've always liked watching him. I like watching the Prem. I like what he brings to it. I think he could definitely go and do something. I'd like to see him given a bit more time at clubs. He goes into jobs with incredible pressure, and if it doesn't work immediately, he never has time for a rebuild. We're about to see if Klopp can do a bit of a rebuild after a shaky season with Liverpool if he stays on with the ESL things. But I don't think it's the right decision to sack Jose. Spurs fans, I'm sure you'll have different opinions in the comments, but who would you like to see next at your club? General football fans, what do you take to the state of the Premier League and European Super League and Spurs sacking one of the best managers in history? Granted, not recent history, but it's a bit mental. I wanted to talk about it. There's a lot of football news this morning. But for now, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all those things, and keep watching right here on Dexterity Box.